Ladies and gentlemen, it's playoff time, and that means I should probably make some predictions. I am late. I was on vacation, so I didn't get to make a video, and my predictions so far seem to have been a bit off, but I am a bit more confident about this. And like I said, I already saw the first round yesterday, so I kind of have an idea of where I think things will go. I'm gonna start with the Minnesotalynx versus the Golden State Valkyries. I don't think this is a surprise to anyone. I don't think it's gonna be really any challenge for the Lynx, and seeing how the game went yesterday, I still don't think it's gonna be much of a challenge. The Valkyries are a new franchise team, so it's incredible that they even made it to the playoffs, period. But being the 8th seed and having to play the Minnesotalynx, and they're in a very good form right now, I don't think this is going to be a challenge. I think the Lynx are going to win it in 2. They may put up more of a fight in the second game, but I really don't. I think it'll still be a pretty big deficit. I mean, yesterday they won by about 30, so I don't see really any realm where the Valkyries give the Lynx any trouble, truly. Next, we have Aces versus the Storm. Before yesterday, I think that the Storm would have given the Aces a little bit more of a challenge, but like I said, since I watched the game yesterday, it doesn't look like the Storm are really giving them a challenge at all. Like, everyone played their asses off yesterday on the Aces. Ajawilson damn near had 29 points. Jackie Young had 18 points, and Smith had 11 points. Jewellloyd off the bench with 14. Dana Evans off the bench with 13. I think it was more of a slower night for a lot of the top players on the Storm. Gabbywilliams was like dragging them through the mud towards the end of the game. I mean, Skylardiggins played well, 12. Neko had 11, but that's on the lower end of more of their averages. Dominique came off the bench with a double-double, 12 and 11, but she did also shoot 36%. Erica shot 36%. Zaya Cook came in shooting 30%. They just didn't really play well. I think if the Storm were able to play, at their best, I do think this could be more of an aces in 3 situation, but looking at how it was yesterday, it's looking like aces in 2. That was like a demolishing yesterday. Next, we have the number 3 Dream and the Fever, who are sick. Unfortunately, the Fever are down and bad as far as their injuries go. I think they're the most unlucky team as far as injuries have gone this season, with pretty much like their entire starting lineup being hurt. Kelsey Mitchell, she's doing her thing, and I feel so bad that she doesn't have the pieces that she started the season with, because the Fever looked so good at the beginning. Even though Caitlin was a little bit off, like, you're gonna have shooting slumps every now and then. She's also battling injuries. I think they would have been very high contenders for a championship this year, maybe, not considering how the Aces and the Lynx are playing now, but I think they would have been a higher ranked team, and I think they would have been more efficient. They would have gotten better as the season went on. But you have all these injuries that they have right now, and it's kind of, it's so unfortunate. I mean, Ari McDonald was playing amazing. Obviously, Caitlin. Obviously, you have, did I say Sophie Cunningham already? Chloe Bibby. Oh, Sydney Colson. And then apparently now Dantas is day-to-day, but they have 6 injuries, 5 major injuries. Yeah, I have to shout out Odyssey Sims as well, being the signing, like the hardship contract that she's on now, and she's making the most of that. Aaliyah Boston didn't really play great yesterday. She's 8 for 12. She's been in a really bad run of form lately, I'd say. And I've been seeing a lot of negativity coming from her. Natasha Howard, 28%. Lexi Holt, 23%. It was a rough game for the Fever yesterday. Ariel Powers came off the bench, 25%. And they're not having a lot of contribution coming off the bench because their bench is gone. And then you have the Atlanta Dream playing amazing. You have Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray, Naz Hillman, Brianna Jones, all of them playing at the top of their capabilities against a very injured Fever team. And I'm not taking anything away from the Dream, because they're an amazing team. Like I said, Dream in 2. And we'll come back to the Dream later, because obviously we're gonna have to talk about them going into the Aces. For this Mercury versus Liberty matchup, I originally thought Mercury in 3, even though the Liberty have all their injuries kind of figured out. Breanna Stewart did get injured yesterday, and I don't know how serious it was. She played through it, but she really didn't look like she should have been. Like, she threw on like a knee brace, or maybe it was ice or something, and then took it back off. She was like crying, and she was limping up and down the court, and I don't think she should have even been in when she was. This isn't when the game was in overtime also, so I don't think it's a tear, maybe a strain, maybe a sprain, something like that. But if she's not playing for the rest of the games, which I don't know, I'm assuming she's gonna want to play and try to play through it, even if that's not good for the long run, it could kind of change how this could go. But I still am gonna go with Mercury in 3, because the Mercury played horrible yesterday. They played so bad. It was so hard to watch. I did turn the game off at one point. I turned it back on, but it was really, really bad. Alyssa Thomas and satousabally kind of vanished. It was horrible. satousabally shot 11% from the field. Alyssa Thomas shot 38%. Cole McConney shot, I think, like 12%. Oh, she shot 18%. Kahleahcopper shot 30%. Natasha Mack shot 30%. It was really, really bad. The only person that really, I think, played well was DeWanna. She came off the bench and she gave them the minutes and points that they needed desperately. But like all around, they all played horribly. I don't know what the hell happened to them. Wide open looks, layups. Satu was throwing up threes. Alyssa Thomas was missing layups. The turnovers, the bad looks, the horrible transition defense. The reason why I'm going to still say Mercury in 3 is because despite how horribly they played, they lost in overtime by 7. Like, it wasn't a whooping. They didn't even lose by that much. They went into overtime. Like, it was tied. They could have won the game so many times. As soon as it went into overtime, I knew they were done. But I'm going to still say Mercury in 3, which after yesterday may be like, okay, why would you say that? But that's what I'm staying with. Now we can go into the next round, and I have the Lynx, the Mercury, the Aces, and the Dream moving on. So for the semifinals, I have the Lynx matched up with the Mercury. I think Mercury, whoa. No, I don't. I think Lynx in 4 games. I think the Mercury might be able to get 1 to win 3 games in a row. That's kind of hard. That's always a saying, is that, you know, it's hard to beat a team 3 times, especially in a row, and you've already been playing them all year. I truly don't see the Mercury pulling a game out on the Lynx. If they do, it'll be kind of like a miracle almost, but they're definitely not winning the series. I do think it's going to be a Mercury in 3, maybe Mercury in 4. No, I'm lying. It's going to be Lynx in 3, maybe Lynx in 4. I don't know why I keep saying that, because I'm looking at the Mercury graphic right now. That's probably why I'm saying that. Last night, Napheesa had 20, Caitlin McBride had 17, Courtney Williams had 11, and then Natisha Heidemann and Jessica Shepard off the bench have always been a very big spark for them. And I think that's a bad matchup for the Mercury any way you look at it. And yeah, I think the Lynx are going to walk away with that one. Now for Aces versus Dream, I think this one is going to be much closer. The Aces obviously haven't lost a game in 40 days and 40 nights, but I'm going to give the Dream a little bit of leeway just because I do think the Dream could pull out 1. I think they could also pull out maybe 2 games, but my prediction is going to be, shoot, dude. I'm gonna go Aces in 5 because I think the Dream have the best opportunity of knocking off any of these top teams. It is the Dream, because if you haven't noticed, it's Aces and Lynx. Everybody's prediction is Aces and Lynx. I think the Dream have the biggest sorry. I think the Dream have the highest opportunity of taking the Aces down. So I'm going to put all my eggs into that basket and say Aces in 5. I don't think they're going to win, but I'm going to say that they're going to give them the biggest run for their money. Now, for the finals prediction, it's definitely going to go to 7, in my opinion. If it's anything less, I'll be very surprised. It might be 6. I'm going to just rip the Band-Aid off, Lynx in 7. Despite if Ajawilson wins MVP, despite if Napheesa wins MVP, it looks like Ajawilson is the favorite for that right now. Napheesa has been playing amazing all season. Everyone on the Lynx has been playing amazing all season. Yes, the Aces are playing amazing, but I'm staying with my original pick from like the beginning of the season. I thought the Lynx were always going to win it. It's going to be hard for them, definitely. The Aces, you know, they started off the season very poor, and obviously they've been playing amazingly recently, but they haven't lost a game. I don't know how that's going to affect their, you know, momentum. I mean, I don't know if it's like a controversial, but maybe it is now considering how well the Aces have been playing lately. I do think the Lynx are going to take it. I think Napheesa is going to be playing amazingly. The same players, Kayla McBride, Courtney Williams, Natisha Heidemann, Jessica Shepard, Dejanay, I think they're all going to be playing at their best. Obviously, for the Aces, I think there is some areas where, at least in the past, there's been a lot of inconsistent performances from everyone, but Ajawilson, obviously Jewellloyd started off the season extremely poor. Yeah, dude, I think it's going to be Lynx in 7. I don't think that's super controversial. Like I said, the Dream have the best chance of shaking anything up, but I don't think there's going to be any upsets, which is unfortunate. I mean, it's obviously interesting. Like, I would have loved to see like the Storm and the Valkyries or something crazy, but like that's not really, you know, that's not really realistic at all. But yeah, it would have been interesting. But like I said, my pick for the champions is going to be Lynx in 7, and I think finals MVP will probably be Napheesa or Kayla McBride, depending on how well she steps up for the finals. So yeah, that's all that I have. If this ends up being wrong, I'm gonna delete this video.